Alright guys, well, since we've been waiting on Ashes of Creation to come out with Alpha 2, been doing that same thing that we all do for years, jump around from game to game looking for another MMO to play while we wait for our next MMO that we're waiting on, which for me is Ashes of Creation. I started playing this one called Ascension. It's a private server for World of Warcraft that is classless. So you can go in here and you can pick any skill from any class and make your own class, more or less. Wanted to do a guide on how to find builds for this game, and this is on the Area 52 free pick server that I'm focusing this on, which as a new player, that's probably the server you should join. It's the best place to go to learn kind of how this kind of WoW works, this classless WoW. When I first started, I had a heck of a time trying to figure out how to find builds, how to make a build, all that. I think when you start out, it's better to just copy a build, just kind of so you kind of get a feel for what works and what doesn't, and then as you grow and over time, you can kind of make your own builds. I've only been on this server, I don't know, I would say maybe 2 or 3 months. I'm not sure exactly how long I've been on it, and I haven't played that 2 or 3 months exclusively. I tried Lost Ark, didn't like it, tried some other stuff. So I'm still pretty green on this server, but I do want to share with you guys the things that I have found best for finding builds, to try to get your feet wet on this which is it's a very fun private server. I've played on a lot of private servers. This one I really enjoy. What I wanted to show you though is how do we find some builds. First way is go to your character advancement menu and go to the hero architect. And this is not a bad way. Here's your leveling builds for when you level. This isn't a bad way. Just start with these and work your way up. Just start with these is what I would say. But if you want some more advanced builds, I'm going to show you that as well. And the other thing to do is not only do you want to like pick a build, you want to like pick a build. Like I'm trying this new Shadow Dots build out. I have no idea what I'm doing with it yet. It's a very complex build. I'm still trying to figure out where to put things on my bars. You have so many dots with this build. It's insane. Because you're a combination of Shadow Priest and Affliction Warlock, and it's complicated. Kind of go through these different specs, even ones you're not playing, and you'll notice like certain things are taken very, like Frost Nova is a very common one. Blink is extremely common in PvP for obvious reasons. Ice Block's very common in arena builds. So you'll notice certain things that people consistently take that are just quite strong no matter the build, certainly in PvP. So start with the hero architect there in game, and then go into the website, and they have a hero architect there as well. And this is actually not the same builds as the ones, like people actually have to create them on here and save them on here. You can get some different build ideas in here. And the other thing is a lot of these builds are not completely fleshed out, some of them, so you'll still have talent points you'll have to spend, but it'll at least get you part of the way there. And it's a lot better than starting completely from scratch. The next thing they have is they have featured builds. So this guy Shadow QZ, he actually is #1 on the leaderboard. Not a bad guy to follow in terms of his builds, and I'm going to show you some more of his build. And actually this build is actually one of his builds. You have some YouTubers, MIXOW's like got a lot of good PvP builds for Ascension, and McDoubles just constantly putting out new builds for Ascension as well. PvP, PvE, all sorts of different builds. So you have those. Discord, if you go on Discord, you have the Ascension official server, which I will give a link to. Honestly, I didn't find much for builds in there, but there's this other server called the Craft Brothers that somebody linked within the Ascension Discord. In there, there's an announcements channel. If you go to this, there's a spreadsheet that somebody has made with all the builds for level 60 draft servers and level 70 free pick server, which is Area 52. So you can see Mr. Shadow QZ. This is actually the build that I'm trying out. The problem is this was it's like PvE based, so I had to make some adaptations. I took this build and I took a build, Shadow Dots build from, actually it wasn't this, it was the Whispers of the Old Gods build. I took a Shadow Dots Whispers of the Old Gods build from MIXOW as well, which is more PvP focused, and kind of did some combinations and figured out what I wanted. That's kind of what you have to do. So really handy. This spreadsheet is very, very handy. And then let's see, the last thing. So like, yeah, so they also in this Discord have like write-ups of a lot of these builds, but you kind of got to search for them. So this Whispers of the Old Gods write-up, here's the level 70 build. So in here, so yeah, and then you can get the macros and you can get the write-up too if you search for it in here. And this is usually in this channel here. So you can go through this channel and find these. But some of these are very old, so you got to scroll up quite a ways or use the search feature. So that's kind of how I have found builds to play around with. When I first got to 70, I did healing and did a lot of battlegrounds because I found, you know, as a healer, typically your win rate goes up. Because healers are so important in PvP. Your win rate goes up in battlegrounds and you can farm gear faster, and that was it. But doing the Shadow Dots build to try to get into the 1v1 arena, that's the main reason, one of the main reasons I joined this server. It has a 1v1 arena, which I've always thought would be pretty fun to try in World of Warcraft, so that's what I'm doing. Anyways, that's it for this video. I will end it here. 7-minute long video looks like. I'll do a little editing and put it up. We'll see you guys later.